Buddhism, Form 2, First Term, Chapter 7, page numbers 38 to 40, the First Buddhist Council. Lesson Objectives. Children will learn the immediate reason for the Sangayana, First Buddhist Council. Learning about leaders of council and other important facts. Children will get to know that council is known as the Buddhist Sangayana. To learn that council collected up the Pali Thripitaka or the Buddhist scriptures. Learning about Bhanaka Generation. Immediate reason for the First Buddhist Council. The Buddha attained Parinibbana at the age of 80 on a Vesak full moon Poya day. It was an irreparable loss to the disciple of the Buddha, except for the bhikkhus who had attained the state of Anagami and Arahat. The other followers were in deep grief. They were weeping and lamenting over the loss of the Buddha. But there was one bhikkhu who rejoiced at the death of the Buddha. He was Subhadra by name and had entered the order in his old age. He said, "Don't be sad, brothers, cry not, for now we are free of the old ascetic. He constantly worries us as saying, this is suitable and this is not. Now we are free to do whatever we like." These words were unexpected from a disciple of the Buddha. These words induced Venerable Kassapa, the third chief disciple of the Buddha, to hold a council of leading arhats so that they could strengthen the sasana. All others welcomed the idea. Important facts about First Buddhist Council. The king of Magadha, King Ajasattha, was informed about the intention to hold a council. The king made all the arrangements for the monks to meet at the entrance of the Sattapanni cave in Rajagaha. 500 seats were arranged and prepared a special hall. But only 499 arhats were chosen for this meeting. The vacant seat was meant for the Venerable Ananda, who was by then had attained only the state of Sotapanna. But just before the due time, as anticipated, Venerable Ananda attained the state of Arhatship and appeared in the hall to occupy the vacant seat. The First Buddhist Council or Sangayana was also called Pankasatika Sangiti because 500 arhats participated in this. Venerable Kassapa was presiding in the council, and Venerable Upali and Venerable Ananda were chosen to rehearse the Vinaya and Dhamma. The First Buddhist Council was held 3 months after the Parinibbana of the Buddha. It was the 8th year of King Ajatasattu region. The council lasted for 7 months. Buddhist Sangayana. The council is known as the Buddhist Sangayana. It means reading together and reciting together, delivering together and coming to agreement. Venerable Kassapa was the president at the first council. Venerable Upali was chosen to answer questions about Vinaya for the bhikkhus' disciplinary rules. As Venerable Ananda, who had the honor of hearing all the sermons delivered by the Buddha, and as Venerable Ananda had a very good memory, was chosen to recite all the sermons and answer questions about the Dhamma. Thus, most of the suttas begins Evan me sutta ekam samaya. It means, thus have I heard. It was how the sutta was introduced by Venerable Ananda. The first Buddhist council collected up the Pali Thripitaka or the Buddhist scriptures. These have been handed over from generation to generation of monks by oration. It is called the oral traditions. As there was no written records of the teachings, the monks had to memorize the teaching and teach them to the next generation. Thripitaka, the three baskets. The first council dealt with the Thripitaka, the three baskets, the Vinaya Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka and the Abhidhamma Pitaka. The Vinaya Pitaka or the basket of discipline mainly dealt with the rules and regulation which the Buddha dealt with as occasions arose for the order of bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. The Sutta Pitaka, basket of discourses, consists of discourses delivered by the Buddha on various occasions. Some discourses were delivered by Venerable Sariputta, Venerable Moggallana, Venerable Ananda. Abhidhamma Pitaka, basket of ultimate doctrine, contain the philosophy of the Buddhist teaching. Bhanaka Generation. It was also decided not to introduce any rules or Sikkhapada and not to take away any rules introduced by the Buddha. At the council, it was decided to hand over certain bhikkhus to carry out the Dhamma to a generation of monks who would continue the Dhamma by oral delivery. They were referred to as the Bhanaka Generation, and this is how they carry out Dhamma. Vinaya, to Venerable Upali and his generation of bhikkhu. Digha Nikaya, collection of long discourses, to Venerable Ananda and his generation of bhikkhu. Majjhima Nikaya, collection of middle-length discourses, Venerable Sariputta and his generation of monks. Samyutta Nikaya, collection of kindred saints, Venerable Mahakassapa and his generation of monks. Anguttara Nikaya, collection of discourses arranged in accordance with number, Venerable Anuruddha and his generation of monks. Khuddaka Nikaya, smaller collection to all bhikkhus. These bhikkhus were later known as Diga Bhanaka and Madhuma Bhanaka, and thus the establishment of Bhanaka bhikkhus occurred. The summary of the lesson. After the parinibbana of the Buddha, the teacher was Dhamma and Vinaya. If there are problems, Dhamma and Vinaya should be sung or read to tune and should not go on argument or debating. The immediate reason for the Sangayana first council was the Bhikkhu Subhadda. The council was presided by Venerable Mahakassapa. 500 bhikkhus participated in the first council, also called as Pancha Sattika. This occurred 3 months after the parinibbana of the Buddha. The venue was in Rajagaha Pura at the Sattapanni cave entrance. It took 7 months to complete this. The main benefactor was King Ajasattha of the kingdom of Magadha. It was decided not to introduce new rules nor remove any rules or sikkhapada delivered by the Buddha. The oral tradition was the method adapted to spread the Dhamma. Certain bhikkhus were named to deliver certain sector of the Dhamma. They helped to carry on the Dhamma and tradition from generation to generation by oral delivery. Thank you.